shit, to just reenact in Hoth scenes at recess. And whenever I've met somebody, it's like, oh, I've never seen it. Like, you don't win an award. Like, there's no check that's coming your way. Every time you puff your chest out and say, oh, I've never, like, why wouldn't you want to at least sample something that is a part of American history, really? I mean, when you look at the entertainment culture side of it all. So I don't understand prideful, never seen it Star Wars guys. I'm just going to go ahead and say that to you right now. So we'll get a little dangerous with the numbers, but joining us, he's the head coach of LSU Tigers, the national champs, and I was lucky enough to see a bunch of these games this year. Ed Ogeron, Coach O. Right now, let's start with just what we're all dealing with here now is this uncertain world. What can you do with the team? What is the NCAA telling you? Like, how much of this have you even been able to figure out on what you can or can't do with the team and the facility?
Yeah, it's ever changing every day. They are not allowed the facility to work out at all. Most of our guys are going to stay here through Thursday. Nutritional is open. Our academic center is open. They're probably going to volunteer to work out on their own outside of this facility, but that cannot be instructed by us. I think as the week goes on, most of the boys or young men will go home to their parents, which, rightfully so. I think this is a new wave. We have to learn how to maneuver through this wave. The next week we have spring break. And then when they come back, everybody's going to be taking online classes. So we just need to figure out what we can and what we can't.
That's Ed Ogeron on the Ryan Russillo podcast. What's up, everybody? It's 5:57. I'm going to do burpees for time in 2 minutes. Well, okay. I meant like I'm going to start in 2 minutes. But conveniently, I also hope to be done in 2 minutes. Something I used to do in, 55 seconds, and we'll be very happy with under 2. But I wasn't good, and been up here for a bit. We rented out some of the equipment. A lot of y'all came by and grabbed different pieces while, gym's closed and quarantine seems to be inevitable. And so we just wanted to make sure everybody was able to have something at home if they chose to. And I think 12, 13 of y'all came through today to grab various amounts. And so I think some of y'all are sitting pretty in terms of kind of getting cut off from the world for a few days. And it was a good day. It's great to chat with y'all. It's very, very clear that the most important thing for us in the coming weeks is going to be connection. And it was already really, really important in our day-to-day lives. It was something that's really overlooked, and we don't like to talk about it because we're supposed to be tough. And as mental health has become more acceptable to talk about, so has admitting that we are desperate for connection. And it doesn't matter if we're an introvert or we're an extrovert. We have to have good people. Hi, buddy. Can you sit? Can you sit? Sit. Sit. Yeah, it's a good boy. Thank you. Thank you. What do you have? Okay. And that's Jax. Hi, Jax. So we're going to really work on, Morgan came up here and we were chatting about it, and we're going to create some opportunities for us to stay connected. We might go all in on like a Zoom meeting. I've seen that recommended around the internet, and just letting everybody kind of log in and see each other's faces and just chat. We're definitely going to be doing live videos every day. This one was a little spur of the moment. I don't know that y'all need to watch me work out every day because I'm not that good at it. I wish I performed better. Maybe I can recruit Morgan to do these workouts on video because I think she's a much better athlete, and it's actually entertaining to see someone who's a good athlete move. But we're going to do some version of a live video every day, just if for no other reason, to give ourselves a chance to stay connected with one another. So, I mean, that's about it. It's 5:59. I'm going to go ahead and start that clock at 6. I know that YouTube takes videos down if there's copywritten music in the background. And so I'm going to do it in silence, which is not that weird for me. So we'll be fine. So 30 burpees for time. If you are at home, I encourage you to do this. Try to beat me. Feel free. Don't beat me. That's fine too. I'm going to jump to a target. So I'm going to touch the pull-up bar that, I don't know how weathermen do this. That's right there. I'm going to touch the pull-up bar. Not this one. this one. I don't know how weathermen do this. Respect your local weatherman, weatherwoman, weather person, because like looking at this, and even though you're like they have a prompter. Remember the Houston Museum of Natural Science? I think they might still have it, but in the basement, in the kids section, there was a section where you could be a weather person for that moment. Go try it, because this is weird. Like that's, I don't know why it's still a struggle. That's my pull-up bar. That's a wall ball target. That's a pull-up bar right here. That's a pull-up bar. See, screwed that up. That's going to be the clock. I'm going the wrong way. This is weird. Weird. It's like playing video games with your controls inverted. Remember Halo? I was never great at video games, but I got looped into that. And I knew like the real good guys used inverted controls. And I was like, so you do everything backwards on purpose. I don't know. Anyways, I'm going to set this down now, and I'm going to start the clock. We're going to have some fun. If you're doing it, put your time in the comments. Okay? 30 burpees is theoretically all out. Ideally, you've done a few burpees. I have not, but I did squat earlier a little bit. Not like, yeah, I get an excuse. I did not squat enough. So if I do come up with the excuse that I squatted too much earlier, you heard it first. I did not. I squatted enough to be warm 3 hours ago. And then I stopped because then people started coming in, which is just poor timing on my part. So no excuses. Let's see what happens. Boop. Okay. Oh, well, I got around 20. Felt like I missed one. Like I counted twice, which would give me an advantage. So, I want to grow on. So ideally, that was 31 burpees. I don't care about time. That's not, again, sir, can't get the ball. Anyways, what'd you get? You tell me. So as I was saying before that, connection is going to be the most vital thing. There's been a lot of jokes on the internet, and I mean, well intended, not malicious. I think sometimes there's been a lot of jokes. You mean shouldn't be joking, appropriate jokes, but like introverts saying things like, "This is what we've been training for." When you find out your lifestyle's called quarantine, which hits home for me. But someone who's thought way too much about seclusion and the power of being alone versus the potential ramifications of spending a lot of time alone. There are a few things that I think we have to be really, really intentional about. He's so athletic. I just want to be as athletic as he is. The true measure of your fitness is not how fast you did something, but how quickly you recover. It's been a few minutes now. Still breathing heavy. So we're gonna get more fit. But back to the thoughts. We're gonna have to be very, very intentional about connection, especially if we get to the point where we're not able to leave where we live. Go get it. No, go get it. Go get the ball. Go get the ball. Go get the ball. Good boy. Because what I've learned, say there's a day where I don't have anything to do. Excellent. Best day ever, right? And I'll do most of my work on my own. But what I find is if I don't have a conversation at some point in the day, and I mean a thorough, not like a, hey, barista, how you doing? Those are important. Plus, support your local barista, local server, local bartender. Going to go without tips for a few weeks, so we need to take care of them. But I need to have like a meaningful conversation every day, a conversation of connection. And so if you're extroverted, it's like 10 times that, 100 times that, 1,000,000 times that. I can have one meaningful conversation that fuels me for 24 hours. The extroverts, they might not need to go as deep all the time, but they have grown accustomed to, and they benefit greatly from, constantly feeding off of everybody else's energy, positivity, and eagerness. And now that's going to be removed. And we can laugh about it and pretend it's not a big deal. But not all of us are used to isolation or seclusion. And humans, as an animal, aren't meant to be in seclusion. You know, I've made a lot of jokes on the podcast before about how we're all tough. Oh, I'm a loner. I operate on my own. Lone wolf mentality. Well, that's why you're broken. I guess someone that's like, I'm a loner, sit them down in therapy. Just stuff's gonna pour out of them. Trauma, something's not connected right. And it's not their fault. We acclimate to our conditions and we adopt coping mechanisms because just as humans we're meant to be together, meant to be connected in a tribe, we also are incredibly resilient. And so we're able to adapt. So if we come up through school and we're bullied, we're never accepted. And that's something I've spoken a lot about, being bullied when I was younger. I've had the same size head since I was like in first grade. Fortunately, I'm 6 feet tall now, so it only looks a little bit too big for me. But when I was a kid, I was not 6 feet tall. And I was told pretty much every day, kids my age, kids older than me, that my head was too big. And I got, I didn't get a lot of physical bullying. There's a few soccer camps here in town that I was always put with the older players. And I remember a few summers where, got that rough love. Some of the high school age kids when I was, I think, still in middle school, maybe even like fifth grade, they, during our breaks, took a special liking to me in terms of, yes, letting me hang out in the group, but also like, I don't know, kind of typical TV show stuff where I was doing stuff that maybe wasn't awesome, getting picked on. I remember being locked in a handicapped bathroom for a good bit. So like bullying and not being accepted or feeling accepted, that can absolutely drive us to find coping mechanisms. And for me, at first was drinking. For those who don't know, I've been sober, fortunate to be sober for, I think it's 8 years. Not really thinking straight after those burpees. Like 7 minutes out, I'm starting to feel better. That's not fit, folks. 7 minutes to recover from 2 minutes of work. Not a great ratio. But I use drinking as my coping mechanism first. I wanted to be accepted, and I couldn't confront myself when I was sober. But when I was drinking, I was able to be loved by everybody because I actually think I was more myself. Because now that I've been sober, I've seen the attributes I demonstrated while drinking. Now, that does not mean I was a great guy while drinking or that there weren't negatives to it, even before the big negatives, which was 2 extreme DUI cases. And extreme is not being used with exaggeration. It's on my records. Conway, Arkansas, extreme DUI, 0.24. And then again in Bexar County, San Antonio, Texas, UTSA, the Cantina, 0.24, back in 2010. And 10 years ago, geez. So 9 years sober. Got sober. It took me a year from then to get sober, really. It's crazy. But it had become a disease. I mean, I had fully embraced it as a disease by then, and I definitely embraced that I was an alcoholic or am an alcoholic, and my recovery is ongoing and every day. But I don't know that, without getting into the ramifications of drinking, I think that I used drinking as a coping mechanism because I could truly be myself. I didn't have to worry that I wouldn't be accepted because I could kind of, like, I am a charismatic person. I am able to put on a great show. That's why we're in this business. Every time we run a class, we're putting on a show. And I do have talents for that. But I didn't believe in those abilities when I was younger because I had never been accepted. Even for things I was the best at. I was a very good soccer player. I was fortunate to play on some very good teams with some incredibly talented young men who some went to do some great things. But even on those teams, I was never accepted there either. And I still have I don't have any regrets. I learned from everything. I'm fortunate for that. But I do wonder, man, like what was wrong with me? Or like what was wrong with the situation where I couldn't just be loved? I didn't sandbag. I didn't not try. Like I tried. I didn't drink in high school. I wasn't a miscreant at all. And I just wasn't accepted. I wasn't loved on the teams. And I felt it because I also wasn't loved at school and felt like an outsider. I was always loved by my parents. Let's get that straight. But I do think the adoption kind of threw things off. Yeah, a lot of stuff happening here. Anyways, my point is to say this. We are resilient creatures and we're able to cope and adapt. So I first coped or created coping mechanism through drinking. If you came and found me drinking, you would have loved me. Would have loved me. Now, not sloppy drunk. We're talking like first 10 drinks, you know. Because I was going to make sure you were having a great night. I was going to see how you were doing, guy or girl. Wasn't about getting laid. I was going to be your best friend because I wanted you to be my friend. And then as I got older and when I got sober, sobriety was an incredible gift, and it is to this day. But one of the things about sobriety is it gets you to acknowledge more than just, I have an affinity for drinking. I'm a proficient drinker. It gets you to acknowledge the symptoms of your disease. Where my recovery fell short, it did not inspire, motivate me to then pursue my best life. And that is nobody's fault or problem but my own. I had a great sponsor. I went to AA. I didn't see a lot of inspiration to pursue your best self there, but I did see a lot of inspiration for you got to get on the right track. But it's taken me until the last year or two, with a lot of lessons along the way, to understand we have to start gaining understanding, because I began to cope once I got sober with isolation. I wasn't worthy of going out with friends. I wouldn't meet up with people. I ended up bringing people around me who I was desperate for their approval, which then allowed them to kind of walk all over me. And I'm not a victim, okay? I set myself up, and these people were not bad people. And like the start of Black Wolf saw a lot of these people in this gym. They're good people. They are. But if you don't set boundaries, it's not really anybody's fault. And I say all this, getting off track it seems, but I'm not. I say all this because I now have learned the value of boundaries, and I've been able to investigate myself further, especially through therapy and just introspection. And what I'm recognizing is I've developed coping mechanisms where if I, like today I got to see so many of y'all, and it was awesome. But today, if I had not seen anybody, I would have thrived. And I'm thriving right now. It was great. But I'm saying, like, I wouldn't have there wouldn't have been a negative to the day. Like, it wouldn't have been like, oh man, I should have had more conversations. Like, I've gotten to the point where I began to become okay being very, very alone. And I almost prioritized it because you're going to lean into whatever your choices are. So if you're choosing to isolate, you're going to kind of campaign in the name of isolation. That's why you see a lot of people kind of shoving introvert characteristics in your face, like on Instagram, like, this is who I am. Ha ha ha. And so all that to say, my life is not better when I'm alone. My life is not better. My coping feels better. I'm comfortable alone, but I'm not better alone. And I think that's really important. So in terms of proactive, we need to be making opportunities to reach out to our friends and touch base. And that's been on the internet already. That's not a new idea. But also proactively for ourselves, we need to put ourselves, those of us that are introverted, those of us that might go into kind of recluse mode, I think that we will better spend the next few weeks, the next month, if we, yes, enjoy our quiet time, but we create those opportunities to still get uncomfortable by reaching out to people, because they'll benefit and we'll benefit, because we do. Introverts benefit tremendously from conversation. We may need it to be a little bit deeper. Like, I don't care about your opinion about the blue sky. I told Brandy today, like, I lose energy when you come in and go, don't you like how red the beams are? Not interested. But you want to tell me about your existential dread or your biggest concern, and I will take all the time in the world to help you through that. And I will love it. I want meaningful conversation. So as an introvert during this strange time, and I'm very fortunate, I have all of you to talk to. But I do know that there's others of you in this community, because like-minded people are attracted to each other, that if you're not pushed out of your comfort zone, you might shut yourself in your apartment happy as hell and not come out until the government says to come out. So that's the challenge. We need to make sure we acknowledge what is a coping mechanism and what is actually good for us. And we need to go out of our way, we got enough time to reach out to those of our friends and our acquaintances who we know, and suffering is a weird term because might unknowingly be struggling because the conversations aren't there. The energy from people, like, I get energy from like sitting on the couch and kind of recharging my batteries. There are people that get energy from standing in front of that whiteboard and leading 30 people. They could do it for 5 classes in a row if that energy was just coming and coming and coming. Meanwhile, for me, I can run a hell of a class for 1 hour. I can run 2 pretty okay classes for 2 hours. That third class, whoo boy, you're asking a lot. And even on Saturday, if you watch it, I coach 8 and I'll coach 9. We'll do great. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Try to talk to me at 10:15. Worthless. I am worthless. So I don't know, probably getting a little long-winded, got the burpee brain. I just want to point out, we're going to make a real effort to create connection over the next few weeks, to create those opportunities. I think that we underestimate how valuable the time here was with each other. The workouts were great. That's awesome. Y'all push so hard. It's amazing to see you work. You can still do some version of that. But remember, what happens up here, what happens in our mind is equally, honestly, more important than physically what occurs. There must be both. Must be mental stimulus and there must be physical stimulus daily. But if we take care of the mind, honestly, the physical nature can take care of itself most of the time. So that's about it. Love to hear your comments, your feedback. We will be doing this every day. Again, I don't think we'll be working out every day. I'm not that great at it. So unless I can recruit Morgan to do some workouts, or maybe with me, I guess I'll struggle through. If you at least have someone good to look at, okay? Because she moves really well. She's a very good athlete. And I do think like YouTube videos are awesome when you see good athletes move. So she'll be the good athlete. And then maybe I can be that person in the open, like represents the everyman. And so today was a benchmark, 30 burpees for time. I'll look at the clock or this video, but I think I was around 145, 147. And so I'm going to see if in 3 weeks, if that improves. Okay. So I will be doing these quarantine WODs every day myself. And I'll keep y'all updated on my times. I want you to continue to keep me updated on your times. And those quarantine workouts are being posted at blackwolfcf.com. I think the YouTube profile might have our website if you can just click through there. If not, just Google Black Wolf CrossFit and we should come up. And we're going to do quarantine WODs every day, so the daily at-home programming. We're going to do daily videos live. YouTube, I think, is the most accessible since not everybody has Instagram or Facebook. I'm fully aware that most people don't go to YouTube. It seems to be like a youth movement, but like just as a suggestion in terms of like save some money, I watch more YouTube content than I do Netflix or Hulu. It really, for me, it works because I'm into like some niche things. So I watch a lot of like Formula One, and now it's from a Netflix documentary, Drive to Survive, which they released season 2. I think that's a great show. I got into it because I loved watching the onboards of the cars, 300 kilometers per hour, 200 miles per hour, being able to take the chicanes, take the turns, and just watching them flow so low to the ground. If you wanted to watch one track, I think the Belgian Grand Prix at Spa, Le Rouge is this crazy turn that they, as they say, Max Verstappen says, take flat out. And it's a right-hander that then inclines some ridiculous grade into a left-hander. And they say that as you're going up the incline, you can't see the road because the car's so low. And so they have to do it by feel. And so as they're going up and going into a left-handed turn, they're having to do that by feel. It's fascinating. And then you learn about the engineering, the teams of engineers, that each Formula One car is wildly different, that the Mercedes and the amount of money that goes into it is completely different than Williams racing. This is all in Drive to Survive. So if you need a fun, Daniel Ricciardo, Aussie driver, big fan of America, loves Austin, Texas, drives for Red Bull in season 1, drives for Renault in season 2. He's an awesome personality. His partner at Red Bull, Max Verstappen, youngest Formula One driver to win a Grand Prix. Father Jos Verstappen, crazy video back when they used to do refueling and pit stops. His car caught fire. Fascinating. So, anyways, I watched a lot of YouTube videos about that. I watch a lot of professional wrestling YouTube clips. I don't watch professional wrestling anymore. I haven't watched that since my dad ruined it for me when I was like in middle school and told me it was fake. Still love it. Stinger Splash, baby. Sting was my boy, WCW. But now that I look back on it, I do enjoy the WWF a little bit more. But and then What Culture? What Culture is a YouTube channel. They do pop culture, movies, and TV references, and they're from England, and I think they're amazing. But my point is, YouTube, I don't pay anything for them. I mean, technically we have Gmail accounts because we pay for the email accounts here. But I mean, you have a YouTube account, and so like I have it on my Roku. I watch YouTube all day. So in terms of like saving money, and if you're not familiar with YouTube, I know a lot of people don't watch live videos here, but it's accessible by everybody. So sorry for that random insight. Y'all learned a lot about me here. That's good, right? I hope. Anyways, so we'll do live videos on YouTube. I am talking talking to myself. Don't have anybody else to talk to about it right now. I'm looking at rolling out one-on-one video chats with anybody that's interested. Wouldn't be mandatory, of course. Maybe once a week, once every 2 weeks, just almost like a wellness check, just to, and as much for me as for you. Okay. So it's not something wrong with you. Let me chat with you. It's just touch base. I mean, I've seen y'all every day for 5 years. I haven't taken a break in 5 years. It's crazy. As Brandy said, the gods saw that I was not going to take a break, so they gave me a mandatory minimum 2-week break. So I apologize. This is all my fault. And as much as I need a break, and as much as I need a vacation, and I wish I was in a position to take one, I've also grown accustomed to seeing y'all's faces every single day. And so for me, the guy that just talked about how I'm all right being by myself, I'm all right kind of locking myself in my apartment, I have no doubt that I'll have withdrawal from seeing y'all's faces, from being around y'all's energy. And so those wellness checks would be, we can just call them, it's my wellness check. Like, do it for me. Get on a video chat with me so that I can see you and chat with you and touch base and just get some level of normalcy. If you have that ego that prevents you from admitting that you benefit too. Although if you have that ego that prevents you from admitting you benefit from it too, you've also already learned that this gym's not for you. So that's okay. So yeah, that's what's to come. The video chats. I think that's daily at home workouts, daily live video on YouTube, potentially rolling out at home video chats. Equipment rental. I'm going to be back up here 10 a.m. to noon tomorrow. I think I said 13 of y'all come through to grab some equipment earlier today. So tomorrow we'll be back. All the rowers are gone. I still have, one bike might be leaving tonight. One bike is gone, so I have 5 bikes left. 9 men's barbells, 7 women's barbells, a lot of the 45s, most of the 25s, most of the 15s, all the 10s, all the boxes, most of the jump ropes. Kettlebells are still here. Looks like a lot of the there's more 53s. 53 and 35 are the most popular, but there's more than half remaining. Looks like a lot of the 35-pound dumbbells are gone, but I think there's still 50s. There's still 30s. Looks like there's plenty of 25s, 20s, 15s, and 10s. Trying to think what else y'all be interested in. Someone want a set of jerk blocks? I honestly might let you keep those. We got those because I had two coaches say they would train here, but we didn't have jerk blocks or GHD. Got jerk blocks and GHD? No training. Neither of them are in Houston anymore. But it's fine. It's fine. So now I've got some cobweb-filled blocks. Yeah. Bands, foam rollers. Those wouldn't charge you for the same for that. That'd be a little silly. Medicine balls. Some people took some. Looks like about 6 got taken. So well over half of the medicine balls are remaining. And you can do all sorts of things. You can use those as slam balls. Use those as a weight for twists. So you can do a lot with that. So a lot of stuff. If you need something at home during the quarantine period, then come up here tomorrow between 10 and 12. You'll sign the stuff out. Be like a library book. And it'll be week to week, and I'll touch base before each week progresses or begins, and that way you let me know if you want to keep it or not. And real casual. Like, I just want you to have the chance to keep moving, because it's not about gains. Like, if you need me to be a douchebag, like, if that's, again, you wouldn't be at this gym because we don't play that game. But like, it's not, all this work you've done, you're going to lose it. We're past that, man. We're talking pandemic. I want you to have something that is exciting for you to move with, so that you move every day. I don't need you to kill it every day. If you get into a groove, smash it, man. Do a million of everything. That's amazing. But like, you ought to get 5 to 10 minutes of some high intensity sweat in every single day. Okay? Because you're going to be better for it. And I don't mean just physically in shape. I don't mean also to boost your immune system, which it does. Activity boosts your immune system. Strength training boosts your immune system with adequate rest and stress management, of course, and proper nutrition. But I also mean because, like, movement's mobility. So like, Brandy was in here and she's talking about how like sitting is going to she's had that hip issue that she's overcome through a lot of physical therapy, a lot of patience. And if she sits for two straight weeks, talk about losing gains, talking about neurological reinforcement of a bad movement pattern of just kind of slouching on a couch. So she knows she has to move. And that's why she's got stuff that she's going to move with. She doesn't have to move all day, but she got to move. And that's what I want for you. Movement's therapy. Movement is mobility. It's just good for us. So I don't care if you come grab one dumbbell. If that dumbbell is exciting for you to throw over your head, exciting for you to do curls with, curls are awesome, man. We don't need to vilify curls. Like, if you tell me I'm going to get dumbbells because I'm going to curl it up every day, good on you, because I bet most days you do more than that. But if the curls are what get you going, getting jacked arms is what gets you going, good on you. Do it, okay? Don't forget, you still go for a run. Coronavirus isn't just filling the air outside. You can still go outside and run. Just don't, like, hold hands while you do it, okay? So yeah, I'm here again tomorrow, 10 to 12. Come by. Even if you just want to chat, we'll keep you 6 feet away. A yardstick. I got my meter stick out. But yeah, so that's kind of what we got. I'm anxious the disruption of routine. I think it can bring the best out of us, but it doesn't mean like emotionally we're going to, like, I feel like I'm vibrating at a higher frequency right now. My heart's like, come here. But I got this guy. Can you sit? Can you sit? You're a little too tall. Can you sit? Sit. I got this boy. He's just a good boy. And he's the best boy. See how good he is? You could go foster a dog. Like, no shit. I don't care if that dog cries all night. You will have such a meaningful experience for 2 weeks. But anyways, a cat. Cats are great. Go watch Summer on Instagram right now. She's killing it with a kitty. I mean, she always wanted a cat, but like, she wasn't looking for a cat when she found that cat. When that cat was, wasn't that the cat that was gifted to her? asking myself. Anyway, Summer, was that cat gifted to you? I forget what the story was, but like it wasn't like she went out for it. She just had it, and now her life is better. So my life's better because I got this guy. I mean, I'm taking care of it at home. Like I'm sitting pretty. I got my I'm gonna be all right. And I'm gonna be all right, not just because of him, not just because of Madison, but I've got y'all. And I want to just do whatever I can to let y'all feel that same level of security and comfort. So if you feel like you're vibrating at a higher frequency, if you feel like you can't be settled, I think it'll come with time. But we do need to talk it out. You need to get your feelings out. And if you need to shoot me an email, write out all your feelings down, I'll respond, I promise. If you want to comment here, call me, whatever. Well, don't call me. Let me know you want to talk on the phone, and I will mentally prepare for a phone call. Stop calling me, man. Not y'all, because y'all don't call. You know how we operate here. But like, I get so many phone calls. Not from people, though. Businesses. And I'm real sick of the corporate response to the COVID-19 or whatever the hell, coronavirus. Like, it's making me angrier to deal with these people. Like, we have a lease to own, but we have a lease agreement on our floor scrubber, which the floor scrubber was a disaster when we first got it. So in terms of the company that gave us the floor scrubber, trash, not a good relationship. Got a lot of things to say. Now that I have time, I might finally put together the review video. But the lease company, unrelated to the floor scrubber company, whatever, business as usual. We saw the contract, read the terms, like nothing. Like it's not like dealing with a person. It's like dealing with a computer, you know? But then they sent an email today. And like, here's the problem, man. We're all scared, right? Especially those of us. And I don't want to go like that don't have paid leave. Like someone that has paid leave or theoretically might. Like if you work for a big company, someone looks and goes, well, yeah, but I work as a server, so my life is harder. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. I don't think it's fair to tell people with paid leave that they should feel secure, because what if it's like 5 days of paid leave and we're out for a month? I don't foresee companies just being happy to pay you a month from now if you haven't been doing work. So let's not compare. Oh my God, Anders Varner from Barbell Shrugged. I don't know if he's still with them. I don't really follow Barbell Shrugged, but I do follow him. Put up a comment today about like, hey man, I think that the post was technically like, there's no group in the world that operates from a place of love more than gym owners. And basically the sentiment of the post was to just make sure you recognize that gym owners right now are in a tough spot. Now, are gym owners the only group that's in a tough spot? Of course not. Of course not. And it was just a nice, well-intended post. Comment number 4 is like, yeah, because nurses and doctors and police officers and firefighters definitely don't have a hard job right now. And like Anders handled it great. It was like, always some of the negativity, get out of here. And then I put a comment as well, which I'm sure is not nearly as creative as I wanted it to be. But one, what the hell, man? Like, what's up with that dude? Like, does anybody think that nurses and doctors and first responders don't put themselves in harm's way for people? Like, I never understand when people feel the need to abruptly remind us of that, especially when it's someone who's not related to the profession. I don't think there's anybody that disagrees that the men and women that are on the front lines of whatever is going on, like they're having to confront this, and maybe we think they have more certainty because they're in the medical community. But in terms of the chaos that is the sheer numbers, the tax on resources, they're consumed in uncertainty. Never mind, when are they going to sleep? When are they going to take breaks? So I just don't understand why that person with a private profile, of course, felt the need. But I do know, and I'm sorry, that got me off track. I don't know, something about the uncertainty of like, I don't know. I really don't know where I was going. I think doctors and nurses are amazing. You guys are incredible. I think police officers and firefighters, EMS personnel that are not going to get a break anytime soon are not going to be able to avoid. Military, I'm pretty sure military is not getting pulled off their bases. Pretty sure they're not getting told to quarantine themselves unless, of course, they're actually exposed. There are plenty of people. You want to go into it, day laborers. You know what they're still doing in my apartment? They're fixing the foundation of building 13. A little disconcerting. They haven't sent an email about that. They're literally digging holes every 5 feet around the building and crawling underneath the slab of the building, which is, it's a 3-story building and it's very old. Strange days. But those guys aren't getting a break. Looks like our trash service is getting a break though. I feel like they could come get the dumpster. But yeah, man, there are people that are not getting a break here. There are people that are not getting a break. And then there is the normal small business concern of like, we're coming back. No matter what. Come on. I've operated this business in the red for months at a time before to afford my coaches health insurance and better pay than I myself took. I can certainly keep this place open when we're doing it for good reasons. So we're not going anywhere. But let me tell you, it will not shock me if, as this progresses, if you see gyms, you see small mom and pop restaurants, big restaurants too, go under. It's going to be dependent on the relationship with their landlord. It's going to be dependent on the relationship with their customer, because there's nothing to say that we don't need to talk about it. Things are going to be awesome. We're going to make the best of this. There is a silver lining, and that's what I want to do. So we'll stay connected. I'll quit talking. I'm always better in the first 10 minutes than I am in the last 10 minutes. So I apologize for the rambling. But again, I need to talk to y'all, and I'm glad that those that listen. So I'll be back tomorrow. You know, let me know what you think in the comments. Jax is taking a nap now, so I need to take him home. And I hope you have a fabulous night. Drink a lot of water. Do not eat like an asshole. Your immune health is directly, it starts with, it begins with what you eat. So figure out how you're going to get a vegetable in every day for the next 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Figure out how you get some fruit in every day for the next 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and then have all your stoner cookies you want. Okay? All right. Hope you have a great night. Happy Tuesday. It is still a good life. It's a great fucking life, folks. Okay? It is still a good life. Keep your head up. If you start feeling yourself down, touch base. I got your back. All right? Have a great night. Bye. Bye. I think ending a video is very... Well, are you sure you want to end your stream?